She's the leader of the Landing Street Center. She's been with us for 2 years. She is charging forward, connecting with the community, and building a new legacy for Landing Street Center. So without further ado, I'm going to bring our executive director up, Dr. Pela to do our welcome.
Thank you, Teresa and Josephine. I swear my skin is going to get smooth again eventually. But wow, that voice, that really sets us off for today in terms of why we're here. So, first things first, welcome everyone. And thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. This is Atlantic Street Center's 22nd year. And we are recognizing Juneteenth today, this weekend, and throughout the year. But thank you for being here to celebrate culture and history with us. And we could not do it as usual without our partners, our sponsors. First, want to just thank the Rainier Beach Community Center and their staff. Please give them a shout out. They do great work in the community. Yeah. And before I move on, we need to stop for a minute. Josephine, you set us up to really keep our souls really alive today. And I'm pleased that Atlantic Street Center, through much work in diversity and equity inclusion, in partnership with our own staff in our community, as well as with you, I'd like for us to stop for a minute and do a land and labor acknowledgement together. What a powerful thing that we need to do. And therefore, Atlantic Street Center and all of us gathered today acknowledge that we are on the traditional lands of the Coast Salish people. As an organization and in partnership with others, service advocates, partners in the community believing in the land and the people who make up the land. Throughout the region, we honor with gratitude the land itself, the Duwamish, the Tuolip, the Muckleshoot, the Snohomish, and many other tribes, past and present. We recognize that this acknowledgement does not take the place of having authentic relationships with Indigenous communities, yet it serves as a critical step to honoring the land that we stand on. Also, today of all days, we must stop and recognize, acknowledging the labor upon which our country, our state, and institutions are built. Today, we remember that our country is built on the labor of enslaved people who were brought to the U.S. from the African continent. And we recognize the continued contributions of their survivors. We also recognize the local history of individuals encamped, forcibly housed, and whose past labor made indelible contributions that have shaped the Pacific Northwest region. We recognize the contributions of Indigenous people, the Chinese immigrants who built our railroad, the Japanese American whose livelihoods were taken while incarcerated during World War II, and migrant laborers from Central, South America, Mexico, the Philippines, who worked in Pacific Northwest farms and the agricultural sector. We must also acknowledge that our society continues to rely on exploited labor of those who are incarcerated, largely people of color, whose pay is cents per hour, yet they produce goods worth billions. Overall, we accept a very critical role and responsibility that we have to ensure that the legacy of all who labor to build our country, including all people of color and those impacted by ongoing marginalization, is truly honored. So therefore, we recognize all workforce labor members, voluntary, involuntary, traffic, forced, undocumented, who contributed to building this country and continue to serve in our labor force, to the people who contribute immeasurable work and the descendants. We acknowledge the significant marks made throughout history on this space that we gather in today. So finally, Remember, it's our collective responsibility to critically interrogate our histories, to repair harm, to honor, protect, and sustain. Okay, and sustain. So basically, we say that because this is the closure. It's our collective responsibility to critically interrogate these histories, to repair harm, to honor, protect, and sustain this land and our collective humanity. So, with that, thank you and welcome. I just want to do a quick shout out to all of our sponsors. Want to thank, please stop by AmeriGroup. They're here today. Give them a hand. The American Gift Fund, courtesy of Marianne Liebert. BECU, thank you for being with us again today. And King County Public Health. Lastly, I do want to thank Tony Benton at Rainier Avenue Radio for bringing us also a surprise today, a very powerful guest speaker on the historic impact of Black Wall Street. So give a shout out to them, but also give a shout out to my young professional advisory council members, our new YPAC, all the volunteers, and the fantastic Atlantic Street Center staff. Enjoy, 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 and thank you.